Thank you guys for the countdown. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Campaign 3 of the Holy Rollers. I'm Stephanie, your Dungeon Master. Tonight we are joined by the illustrious Brandon, who plays Red Netherroot, our cleric. Dennis, who plays Lytle de Ferndon, our bi-class of Sorcerer Rogue. Joffrey, who plays Roorn Baelgor, our fighter and barbarian combo. And we have Miss Rachel, who plays one half of the character Genji Kenji. She's playing specifically the barbarian half, Kenji with a K. And last but not least, our illustrious illusion wizard, Jesse, who is playing hold up, Riker Tor. Sorry. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that was once again. I fumble the last name every time. Um, we are so glad that you're here. We're so grateful for the new followers on our page and on our YouTube channel. We can't wait to introduce you to our community in a more profound way. Thank you for just following us. A follow means a lot in this day and age where everyone's begging for something from you online. We recognize your attention is valuable and we won't waste it. So we have we have rolled for prayer as is our custom, and Mr. Dennis won our roll off tonight. So, Mr. Dennis, take it away, and then we will go for recap.
Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay, because my screen just froze.
You're good.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll pray.
Okay.
All right. Father, we just come to you tonight full of thanks, full of praise, full of excitement to be with each other and to be able to glorify you in all of this. We ask that you touch each one of us tonight. Uh, we we praise you for the healings that you've done, for the good that you've done for us, for the blessings that you're giving us, for the promises that we have, and for the things that are going on that look promising, Lord. We just give those to you. Um, we uh, we lift this game up to you tonight. We ask that you help us to glorify you, and that you help us to 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 role play the way that you would have us to do it. You seem to show up at every game, and Lord, we shouldn't be surprised at that. So we ask that you bless us, bless our roles for both the DM and the players. Maybe a little more for the players, but both of us. And we just thank you in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen.
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 I had to put that in. Sorry, Steph.
Y'all kill me praying for the rolls. Like, you'll kill me. All right, who wants to take a stab, pun intended, at recap?
You know, you
Brand,
you you would
I
think
was
that
about to say,
I would. You know what? Yeah. What the heck? I will. I don't
you know,
remember. I honestly don't remember much after the save, so it is what it
you've
is.
been
Get
you've
over
been
it.
drafted.
So we started last week with a blade sticking out of my chest,
Yes.
as Rourn, in his rage, decided to, try to handle me. Uh, Using some, I would say quick wit, but after thinking about it for a couple weeks of how to react, I decided to disguise self and turn into Rorn, and then walk off of his blade and back onto his blade. So he had to stare at himself in the face as he stabbed himself.
Which was so metal. Like, who gets themselves off of a sword only to put themselves back on a sword?
Apparently, me.
It does. That's who.
Yeah, that's right.
The freaking death
After
glare that we had. Yeah, of course.
after some words were given to Rorn, we finally got him to snap out of his
Oh,
rage and
his turbo
his
rage.
turbo rage. That's right. Quenched his bloodthirst a little, and
Yeah.
once that was done, decided to, I think, Riker went and like checked the bodies. I went and sent off the spirits that were kind of in the mass
Mass
grave
grave.
that was under the ground. Um, we headed over. We headed back over to the camp for the evening. Rourn kind of kept himself in this a self-imposed exile, and that's literally all I remember. If there's anything outside of that, from you.
That's about it. several of you went up and actually chatted with Roarn a little bit.
No, there was that. Yeah.
Just kind of, did some team building, trying to get him out of his funk. We have a little bit of retconning to do from Joffrey because even as a DM, I'm not a perfect approximation of someone else's character, and he lives in Roarn's head. I just play with Roarn's head, so feel free to retcon what you would like at this point,
Seems to
Joffrey.
work.
So the main thing is there is no distinction between. It's not a separate entity that resides in Roorn. If anything, Rage Roorn is real Roorn. The Roorn that the party has been interacting with is a mask the real Roorn wears to hide in plain sight. For reasons that he's only partially explained, but has been made clear with his actions when he's raged. He does not differentiate friend from foe. But he's very good at what he does, which is why think of this Roorn is a mask for this Roorn, which is a real Roorn. A day is coming where there will be no difference and it will just be Roorn. But that's like the one little caveat. It's not a separate entity. It's not like a separate darkness that's like corrupting. That is Roorn.
Gotcha. Thank you for that insight and correction.
And then, let me ask you what Lytle would have seen in the detect thoughts, where he was seeing the door and it seemed like there was a monster back there. Would that still be the case? But he would more recognize it more as.
You would have noticed that the front room is empty. Every time you're in his mind, there's silence in the front, because that's not where Roorn is. Roorn's always been behind the door. The mask has enough of a fraction to keep the facade up, but Roorn lives behind the door.
Unless he comes out to play.
Which has been a little more frequently. Hence,
yeah,
the drastic feedback, which is what led to Red getting stabbed, because he hasn't been out in a while.
Yeah.
And got a lot carried away.
Come play with us, Danny.
Yes. However, every party, Red's comment of maybe the gods brought you back because they need all of you did resonate with Roorn. Yes.
Yeah.
For other reasons. So that is all my retconning done.
Nice. All right. Wonderful. Brandon, thank you for your recap. Please take your dice. Joffrey, take a dice as well, just for understanding your character so profoundly and being able to talk about it so eloquently. Thank you. So we come to, and you guys are waking up from. I think where we left off was you were waking up from your first long rest after this incident.
Which you
Roorn,
said Roorn did not take because I have a level of exhaustion, so none of my abilities resumed.
You can correct that. I just took a creative liberty. If you would rather have said you took a long rest, you're welcome to.
This instance, no, that was correct. He would not have long rested.
We traveled quite a ways. We did not stop anywhere. The last thing we did was stop for lunch and ate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We were on our way to Goldmere. I remember.
That's right. You crested the hill, I believe, and you were looking into Goldmere or down at Goldmere.
I killed a boar, gutted it, and brought it back to Roorn and told him to cut it up.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you for helping me remember. Awesome. So you guys are getting much closer to Goldmere. I would say you will reach it by sundown, and there's no real weather hazards that you can see right now or predict, and the road is becoming a lot more clear and obvious and more easy to traverse. So if you want to make good time, you can absolutely do that. If you want to stop or have conversations along the way, now's your chance.
But this being a well-ridden, well-walked, well-used road.
Well-made road.
Yeah.
It's a well-made road.
I think that uh, Lydell would probably not do the whole stealth, going into stealth and going forward. At this
Okay.
point, whatever's going to happen is going to happen on this road. We'll see it before it
Yeah.
happens. So
Yeah.
we're not going to be overly cautious on this one. That way we don't have to explain it if we get caught by anything.
Sure.
However, he will still look up into the trees and look around for any signs of danger.
There, as you guys are like maybe an hour out from Goldmere, you can tell by like the depth of the wagon tracks on the road ahead of you. You actually come across a wagon that has been flipped on its side. Its horse is dead on the ground. And it is burning. It's actively like in the process of almost being completely burnt to a cinder. Um, the individuals who might have been riding in this cart are nowhere to be seen. And it looks like some of the what's the word? The cargo of this cart has been rummaged through because it's scattered around on the side of this of your road. Do
How far
you
from Goldmere are we?
about an hour?
Hmm.
It's a
And from the
disadvantage.
direction of the horses, like and the cart's orientation, they were going towards Goldmere, not away.
So it wouldn't make any sense.
So there's probably bandits along the road at some point.
But I'm gonna say Lydell is just gonna look around and see if he can see if there's anything of use there. If there's any signs that maybe somebody would still be around, or if there's anybody that might still be alive or anything like that.
You see, well, roll me a perception check first.
Sure.
Roorn's going to give it history. The last time he was here was not, I guess not so long ago.
A 21.
Okay. So with the 21, you can see a set of tracks that look to be medium humanoid sized in with great distance between each track, booking it towards in the direction of Goldmere. You don't see this individual though. It's not like you can see him down the road or anything like that. You just know he went this way. You can also see there are several larger tracks, kind of sprinkled around, overlapping this site, and there is evidence that they are heavier, possibly armored, much larger individuals at the minimum, perhaps the assailants of this attack. What did you roll for, Roy? I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm going to hold off because
Okay.
one's a disadvantage, but it'll probably be flat because Roorn knows Goldmere.
Yes, he does.
This does not sound like the Goldmere he left.
Pretty astute observation.
I would say that
Withhold
Lydell
until we get closer.
Okay.
Lydell tells everybody what he sees.
Yeah. So you communicate that there's tracks of large individuals who probably did this attack, and also tracks of somebody hightailing it for civilization and presumably to
Right.
safety. Would you like to carry on or do anything else?
I do an investigation.
Yeah,
If
what
I'm
would you like to
getting
investigate
details.
for?
I like to look at the footprints, I guess, and just see if I can gain more information.
Roll me an investigation.
Like race or anything.
Yeah, sure.
I rolled a 9. I believe I have a plus.
Plus what?
Hold on.
No, you take it
Please
up.
hold.
Take your time. Insert Jeopardy wait track here.
So plus 9, so that's a 28.
Good glory.
I was gonna say, as a
Seriously?
cleric, I'll be nice and guide someone since I haven't done that the entire campaign. But you don't need it, so you ain't getting it.
Hey, I could get
For
Okay.
30.
once, we have a
30.
campaign where guidance is not being thrown out willy-nilly because everyone's stats are so high.
True. Oh god, y'all are awful. So yeah, with a 28, you can tell these are the tracks of half orcs, and even some full orcs in there. There's a group of a minimum of 5. You can't discern totally exactly how many. Just so much overlap. Like they were clearly moving all around this cart. Um, there is evidence that at least one of them has a sword long enough that it drags the ground beside him when it's in his at his waist.
At least it's a
Um,
sword dragging the ground.
Brandon.
Goodness.
Brandon.
That was
Take your camera off in shame. Yeah, it's come back, I'm done. In the you can tell like it's a pretty long blade to be dragging the ground at the waist height of a half orc or orc. So that's about all you can grasp with a 28. Okay. Anyone want to do anything else before we carry on? Okay.
Nope.
And you can tell at a glance the stuff on the side of the road isn't really worth like rifling through. It looks like people's personal belongings for the most part, and whoever was here was probably picked it through. You carry on down the road, and within about 20 minutes of your like normal walking pace, you come across the individual who fled dead on the road. And he has been sliced from from behind, from one shoulder to the opposite hip. This just clean through his spine, and he died pretty quickly. Um, the same footprints that you saw around the wagon are echoed around his corpse. And there's
Apparently
a
not hunters.
make a what's it called? Make a perception check, everybody.
Insight.
You can.
18.
27.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
18
Nice.
21.
plus.
Awesome.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Rachel, good job, honey. I'm so proud of you. Yes, use the Skittles. Use the Skittle tube. The whatever works, okay? We're not going to argue with success. So you all pick up on the smell really readily, as well as like the kind of dampness aside from blood on this gentleman's clothes. He's been peed on.
Ew.
Yeah, he was killed, struck down in cold blood, and then he peed on his corpse. It's
Marking their
it's it
territory or something?
or just being disrespectful.
Ew. We don't like.
Right.
I was gonna say, Lytle looks over at Red and says, "Is there anything you need to do now?"
I'm going to make a con save for Roorn really quick.
All right.
It's a disadvantage because it is exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. Is it to just hold your composure?
Yes.
Let's say if you fly off into a rage again, like I'm letting you murder the party. I don't have the energy.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna grab Riker and we're gonna go away until you're done.
Right.
Well, I rolled an 18 and a 20. So
Okay.
at a 28,
Mm-hmm. I'd say you keep it together.
Yeah.
mostly it was because there is a small sense of hometown pride being spat upon here.
Definitely. Even if this fellow was going towards Goldmere and not away from it, he's still within like the general vicinity of Goldmere, ergo he is of this mindset you have.
You'll hear a
Red-
grinding of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
A rock will just slowly get turned into
Powder.
powder, but nothing else.
Red, do you wish to lay this soul to rest formally?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do that and then burn the body.
All right. You take your, like, 5 or 10 minutes to do your ritual that sends their soul to the afterlife, in peace.
Roorn will
Despite
have his
this.
sword out, looking around in a
Okay.
protective mode.
The tracks go off into the woods, kind of towards the mountain range that Goldmere sits at the foot of, clearly avoiding the town.
Can I do a survival
Yes, you may. What you
to
want to know?
try and roughly map roughly whereabouts in the area that he would have spent his childhood growing up in could they might be if we so happen to, I don't know, get a contract or something to go deal with these at a later date.
I mean, never hurts to have a lay of the land when you go into a town.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I did not roll high, so probably been too long. He'll immediately shake it off, like, eh.
Okay. You realize the direction, even if you aren't entirely positive they keep it the whole way, or um, more details of that. But you have a vector at least now. Um, Having had the soul laid to rest and the corpse being consumed by holy fire, you move on. And within about 45 minutes, you have made your way to the gates of Goldmere. Um, Joffrey, it
And
is most definitely changed.
question,
Yes, go ahead.
you said that the footprints were heading to the city.
No, they were heading around. Um, so it the road differ. Hang on, I can pull up the map. That is the wrong link. Hold up, friends. Yes, yes, I'm a human that
Lies.
you know of.
Are, are you though?
I mean, as far as you're aware, you've never seen me in person.
This is true.
Do, 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 do. Oh, come on, roll 20. There we go. Let me start the activity and you guys can see the map. I have sent the map a few times in chat if you guys ever want to reference it outside of roll 20 or outside of session. Or ask me and I'll happily send it to you again. I work hard on it for a reason. So let me pull up my side. You guys are like here. You're where the party hat is, for obvious reasons. Um,
Hmm.
the tracks kind of differ in their direction. They go kind of towards the mountain range. They do not follow the road towards Goldmere. Make sense?
Towards the temple.
Yeah, the temple is this kind of symbol here. Do you see the symbol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's kind of the same color as the range itself. My apologies. But that is the marking of the Temple of the Dawn. That's the feature of this landscape. They go kind of around the town, and you're not sure where they go from there.
Okay.
Um, you, Joffrey, you have an idea of what you're going to be walking into when you visit Goldmere, but it is markedly different when you show up. Why don't you give a example? Why don't you give a picture to the party of what you recall your childhood home being like?
Goldmere is not as large as Dessel, but for a village, it would have been its sturdy walls, small but thriving population, and considering it was the doorstep to the Temple of the Dawn
Hmm.
before the war, there would have been not a few, but quite a large number of a religious population of either cleric or paladin.
Or both, I would say.
Nothing extravagant, but a village one could look at and think, is this what a city looks like? Only for them to see a real city.
There was also a pretty good population of there was a quite the tourist industry in Goldmere because pilgrims would often stop there as the last stop on their way up the mountain to the temple. Um, a good deal of the clergy rotated in and out of service in the temple and lived in the village in the interim. Um, but pilgrims were a constant stream up and down the mountain to get to the temple. And they often stopped and bought like uh, alms and tchotchkes and things to offer at the temple, as well as souvenirs of their journey in Goldmere. As you kind of describe this, the summary, in addition to what Rourn has to say, is the village of Goldmere is a frontier village with one main draw, the Grand Temple of the Dawn, a place of worship for Lathander. Or at least, it used to be. Now it barely qualifies for the title of village, as it is reduced to little more than a hamlet on dirt streets comprised of mud and thatch homes. The once bursting market area, which sold souvenirs and homages to pilgrims, now has merely a smattering of tattered, understocked booths. There's little more to offer than a place to sleep and eat en route to what is left of the Dawnfather's spectacle. During the Empress's denunciation, the temple quickly lost its attraction and was abandoned in the wake of anti-religious sentiment. Over the years, parts of it have been burned, vandalized, occupied by unsavory types, and worse. The scant few locals who remain where they see and hear a spirit wandering the place. Now only the most stubborn hangers-on remain in the village, motivated by the mournful attachment they feel to what the place used to be. While no one dares be caught in outright worshipful expression, the denizens rise just before dawn and find an excuse to raise their face to the morning's sanctifying light. Obviously, being at the base of a temple to Lathander, the vast majority of these individuals would have once worshipped Lathander. So you enter this town where there once were proud and well-kept walls. They have fallen into significant disrepair. The gate that formerly was tight and held back uh, danger in this in this frontier sort of town now has kind of a sagging path that it traces through the ground with every open and shut. It's clearly not had its hinges tightened in some time. Um, Rourn, I have to ask, do you disguise yourself at all walking back into this town?
I thought about it, but what he looks now is not what he looked like before.
That's right, you've grown the mutton chops and the beard and such.
And the armor.
Okay. Perfect. So, you're fairly confident you're not going to be recognized easily.
As long as the wings don't come out, it's hiding in plain sight.
And once again, no one looks for a dead man.
No one looks for a dead man. That's why he's not using his last name either.
Right. Oh, the Baelgor name is well known in this town. There's
Pretty
dirt
sure that
streets.
estate is long gone, burned, or worse.
Yeah, we'll talk. So you've made it to Goldmere. The individuals who dot the streets and like go about their day don't even really seem to pay you too much heed after they have looked at you for a moment. It's very clear that newcomers to this village are rare, but once they clock you for travelers, they're not necessarily too concerned with paying attention to you any further. You do notice there is one, what seems to be combination kind of building in this town that seems to operate as tavern, as general goods store, and perhaps a few other businesses under one roof. By the way the roads are laid out, all of them sort of lead to this village, or to this place.
What's it called?
Hang on, I had this written down. The Cawing Crow.
Cawing Crow.
Yep, the Cawing Crow.
We're now going to call it the Calling Crow.
That's fine.
Is it not the Calling Crow?
It
It's
is
supposed to be the cawing crow.
okay, guys. I'm Southern. I can't help it. It is the
It's the
Cawing
cawing
Crow.
crow.
I swear to all things good. I don't care what you call it. Okay, we're probably not going to talk about it again. Which now means y'all will certainly remember it. See, that's
100%.
reverse psychology.
That's
All
all I
right,
need to
guys,
hear.
we'll find out everything we can about the Calling Crow.
Yep. That's
I
where.
would
Hey,
like to investigate.
DM tip. That's reverse psychology. Follow me for more DM tips.
That's right.
Works
This
for kids.
place
Works for
was not
players.
there before, was there? Was it?
It was a different thing when you were growing up. Perhaps a little better put together, but definitely an entity that existed back then.
Okay.
It was perhaps more of a full tavern back in your day.
Not the
Now it's
only
a
one-stop shop.
right. Now it's a myriad sort of deal. Like a lot of businesses amalgamated to save on, costs of owning.
Or is there like a mob boss, or what is it called? Like a old westerns where there's one person that owns everything.
Oh, an oligarch or something.
Well, that's more Russian when I
In
think
some,
of
that was
oligarch.
the sheriff.
I know what you mean though, Jesse. I'm glad y'all are getting the Western kind of vibe. That's kind of what I was pulling. Okay, awesome. So do
Lionel
you want
adjusts his dagger on his hips for a quick
I'm
draw.
Oh geez, yeah. That's what we need to do is a
My
Western
spells
one
are all
shot.
going to look like this now.
Yes. This is very Fallout coded and I'm here for it. Would comment below, watchers slash listeners later, if you would like a Western one shot, or even a short shot, because that is something I think that we can arrange. I'm sure there's even different modules we could do. Um, so if you want to stop for, a little bit of a resupply, wet your whistle, rest a moment before you go anywhere else, you can do so at the Clawing Crow. I'm gonna
What time
drive
is
to
it?
your houses. It's
Rourn will sheath his
approaching kind of
sword.
dinner time.
Lydell, you want to find out what the scuttlebutt is around town? I know you usually are good at that.
Lionel,
No.
yeah, so that's something Stephanie, Lydell is going to be looking for that place. And if it's the tavern, that's fine. But that place that would tell him kind of the rogue side of the story.
All right.
If you
So
understand what I'm
Lydell
saying.
is basically our group's Yenta. Got it.
I'm sorry I don't get the reference. I apologize. I'm failing you. Who is a Yenta?
He knows all the
What is a
gossip. He finds it
yeah,
all
that
out.
tracks. Strangely, I think he's one of the most charismatic of you all.
It's interesting that he is.
Yeah. And so you would like to go into the crow. We'll just shorten it to the
Okay.
crow.
Yeah.
Okay. You bang through the swinging doors, and weirdly, in this dimly lit place, nobody turns around to watch you enter. Even though your spurs. No, I'm kidding. The
I suddenly grew spurs.
yes, you have spurs now. They're magic. You belly up to the bar. The barkeep finally looks up from what he's doing to ask you, just grunt at you. What do you want?
Lido asks him if there's any chance.
5 of your strongest.
We only got one strength here.
Lydell pulls his flask out. I'll take
The-
this full.
The bartender all but rolls his eyes. Because his wooden, gross, crusty kind of mugs aren't good enough for you, and, begins to fill, your canteen, your flask up with the booze you will not be able to get drunk off of, and he pulls, 4 mostly froth, mugs of ale for the rest of you.
I ain't
What do
touching
you
that crap.
that would be wise.
Hell, water. Ew.
Does
Well, for
anybody
everyone
dare
that
to take a drink?
well, Roorn
Lydell
already
does.
finished his. He will then
It
take
tastes it
Riker's
tastes
and will
it
whip.
uh-huh. It tastes like the mop water off of a latrine floor. Um, it is bad, but it passes for booze in this town. Um, Roran, you are still kind of coming off the shock of how much your hometown has changed since you've been gone. It's been 17 years or so since you died, but about 20 or more since you saw it last. Um,
Yeah.
it's just such a shock to you. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around.
He'll grab
Even the
Lydell's and
yeah. If anyone
Lydell
deserves a
lets
drink,
him.
if anyone deserves a drink, it's Red and Roarn after the episode that just occurred.
Well, after taking a taste of it, Lydell's like, "Yes, please empty that out of my."
Yeah, you
I'm
can
actually kind of
have it.
surprised that the bartender doesn't look up at the 7 foot tall. Like, don't get many. Like, aren't you a tall one? Don't get many of you around these parts.
Yeah, he's not paid enough to care, and by that I mean he's not paid much at all.
Good. It's like the one thing that would probably have some people go, "Wait a minute, there used to be a
Right.
real tall man around here."
Mm-hmm. Um, Wonderful. So you've asked. Do you have anything you'd like to ask the barkeep if you can arrange his attention long enough?
uh, Lydell's actually gonna look around to see if there's anybody in the bar,
Mm-hmm.
in the tavern
Yeah.
that looks like he would be, I don't know, almost in charge. Because he can
Um.
tell the barkeep is about as full of information as the flask that he just let Warren empty.
Um. There's like some very haggard-looking people nursing their own, mop water ales, but none of them seem to have an air of confidence or what's the word? Leadership.
Okay.
There is
Li-
one though who is looking at you all over the top of his ale with some
Mhm.
degree of curiosity.
Is he playing cards by chance? Because I feel like Genji at this point would want to find a poker table and try and get info out of people there.
You know what? Yeah, let's just say he's playing solitaire for now.
Perfect.
As she's doing that, Lydell puts a couple of coins down and says, "Around for everyone."
Lydell, this
Mm.
is not.
Hang on. My husband is setting our house on fire. Just a moment.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's fun.
And he left some in the oven.
Yeah,
Is
what
there
did you
something
say,
burning?
Riker?
I smell
And
like
this is
burning
stuff
crumbs.
smells disgusting. Not buying around with it.
Did anything
Don't
fall into it?
encourage the bad
What
swill.
makes you
Is that
feel,
the
Riker? It
eyes?
tastes just as bad as it smells.
Well,
Lydell looks
somebody
over
with
at you,
better
Riker, and
brains
says,
would know that already.
Lydell says, "I'm not drinking it."
I'm not either. So who you buying the round for?
All these wonderful people around here.
There's 3 of them.
Give
None
it
of
to
them are
Mikey. He'll
interested.
try anything.
Yeah.
Right. So the bartender cocks an eyebrow, maintains like the most sardonic eye contact the entire time. He's pouring 3 more mugs of ale. It's like, "Thank you for my 3 extra ale, basically piss water,
Yeah.
ales." Like, "Thanks so much." The individuals who are around this, you know, bar don't really react to the extra being put in front of them because, again, the spirit of this town just seems to have left. But the one who has been playing solitaire, thank you for that, Rachel, and has been looking at you over his ale, gathers up his cards, picks up both of his ales, the one he had and the one he just received by the handle, and ambles over to the lot of you who are bellied up to the bar. You'll have to forgive him. We don't get a lot of strangers in this town. Not for a long time.
I can see why.
The name's Davenport. And you are?
At this point, do we want to give
Trying
our
to
real
remain
name?
hygienic.
One at a time. What did you say, Dennis?
I was just asking if we wanted to go ahead and start using our regular names, or we're going to keep up with the with
That's
Frodo.
up.
One of us is keeping their name code.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah,
of figured.
at least one of you is
We could
operating
just
under a
say
pseudonym.
just a couple
What'd
of
you
travelers.
what did you say too, Jesse? Hold that
I
thought,
said
Rach.
I replied, trying to stay hygienic.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Davenport kind of cocks a grin at that and says, I mean, best of luck.
He keeps casting prestidigitation on everything.
Right. It's like
Definitely.
you're using a hanky to pick things up, like you're really grossed out. Uh-huh. Yeah. All of a sudden you're aware of germs and germ theory has not come to this continent yet. Rachel, you say what did you say again?
I was just saying suggesting we could just say just a couple of travelers if we're not ready to,
Yeah,
completely tell people who we are.
Do you go with that?
yeah, I think that's what we'll go with to start with. We're a few travelers going through.
All right. So he says the only people who travel here are en route to what's left of the temple. And they tend to have, shall we say, bad intentions. So why are you traveling here? What are your intentions?
Oh, well,
First,
I'm curious
define,
what those bad intentions are.
as my friend said.
Well, ever since the temple got shut down with the death of the high priest and the empress most outlawed completely religious
There's a
expression.
slight cough as Roorn kind of rolled a con save.
Yeah.
On disadvantage, there was a little bit of a choke when he said at the death of the high priest.
Uh-huh. The
Gonna look at
temple
Roorn just a little bit like. Uh,
um Davenport continues, the temple attracts people who don't want to be bothered.
hide out in a
And
temple.
what was that, Jesse? I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
I just like, well, they're hiding out at a temple, which has its own landmark on a map, and
A temple, Davenport interrupts, that hasn't been visited in its original capacity in nigh on 17 years. It's falling apart. There's very little left of the original grandeur. Since you're asking so much about it, I'm assuming you want to go there too?
yeah, we're stone collectors. We like to collect rare stones, and temples have a lot of those usually. So just looking to see what we can find. Maybe there'll be something left. Like maybe a little bioluminescent quartz or
He eyes you critically over the top of his he's double fisting the ale at this point and smacks his lips because he's clearly used to how gross it tastes and says, "Then you're probably gonna need a guide."
well,
Are
any
you
suggestion?
volunteering yourself or something?
Well, now that you mention it, yeah.
What do you want?
I'd settle for 100 gold.
Pardon me, friend. Roaring
Yes,
place.
the
Now
tall.
third empty tankard that this is doing nothing because there's like no alcohol content. If
Yeah,
anything, it's
basically.
the taste is acting as penance alone.
Yes, it's basically the world's worst kombucha.
Hmm.
We all know that
Has
kombucha.
that trek changed much in 17 years? Or is it the same as it was when the temple was in its heyday?
It's changed a lot in that time. There's been rock slides that blocked the path, and new paths have had to be made. Uh, Various security measures were activated in the temple with the absence of the clergy, and the few individuals who care to go for their bad purposes have had to find ways around them. It's a different sort of vibe. Looks at you and squints and says, "You don't look old enough to remember the temple in its heyday. Have you been here before?"
I've heard stories,
He's gonna roll an
detailed
insight.
stories.
He's gonna roll an insight check.
Wait a second. Doesn't Rourne have like white hair? He looks like 50 years old.
Yeah, but he's got this kind of angelic quality to him that could be pretty timeless.
Not
It's
all
more
of
of a
us can
it's
look
more of
12, Jesse.
yeah, Jesse. God. Not to mention Rachel, who freaking ages backwards, having a child. Um, yeah. The
Sure.
So he rolled a 2. He does not intuit anything about what you're saying, Rourn. You're welcome. Well, with 100 gold, I'm not gonna ask any questions. I'll be real with you. Um,
How you get 2 questions and we pay you 50 gold?
he
Are
laughs
you
and
sure
says,
that? Are you sure you want to be the one to try to persuade him to go down?
No, not really, but I'm just making an offer.
50
"Roll,
there,
roll
I'm
and
just
when you get
trying to
us there,
figure
we
out
will pay the
why.
extra 50.
50 now and 50 later." That's what you said. He
Yes.
shrugs and says, "It's fair. Got to make sure you get there anyway."
I'm
What did
just
you say,
trying
You
to figure
Rachel?
out
seem
why he's
rather.
so willing to help us. Like, what is his deal? Does he really just need the money that bad?
You look around this place and realize there is zero industry left in this town.
He
How
probably
Um,
long
just
have
wants
you
something
been
to do.
stuck here? Davenport, it was.
oh, I was born and raised in this town, and frankly, even as terrible as it is, I can't see fit to leave. Besides, there's suckers like you that come through every now and then I get to guide up the mountain and make a living from. Rare enough.
Lydell looks over at him and says, "And of all the people that you've guided up the mountain, how many have lived long enough to get to the top?"
He puts the ale down a little bit hard, as if you're like he's taking offense, and he says, "Hey, I delivered every one of them to the doors of that temple in one piece. What happened afterward, I not I can't say. I guide him to the temple, not through the temple."
Can I do an insight check to make sure that I feel like he's telling the truth?
Sure.
Okay. 21.
Telling the truth.
Okay.
He's a little ragged around the edges, but he doesn't seem violent. Certainly not the type to get people isolated on a mountain and murder them.
You've
Yeah,
been
I was just.
here.
It's what they all say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I've
mean,
watched Dateline.
With how little he gets, money this way, would not surprise me at all if that's his intention. But since Dennis says he's telling the truth,
Because
Down.
that's the gold standard of honesty.
yeah.
right?
Oh, you're one to
Set.
talk. You're one to talk, Brandon. Mr. Hiding I'm a bloodthirsty monster from the entire party.
Zhish.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Roard?
Davin, I'm curious. My acquaintance from before that informed me of the why I know so much about the temple.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering if they were still around, the Balgors.
He
As
gets
someone
a
who's
little bit.
lived here, clearly you should have
He gets
information.
this. He gets this kind of vibe of like he breaks eye contact and he punches over a little bit, and he seems both afraid and angered. Belgor name hasn't been spoken in this town for years, and it's going to continue that way. How do you know them?
As I said, old friends.
He chews
But
his inner lip as you talk.
I haven't contacted them in quite some time. Wondered if they came back.
I haven't seen any of the Belgors in well over a decade.
Hmm.
Good riddance. He kind of spits on the floor.
Didn't get that kind of read from them, but clearly you, living here, must be more knowledgeable than I. On the way, you must enlighten me as to this true history of the Balgors.
That's going to cost you. And I'm not just talking gold. I want real liquor if I have to replay those memories.
Wow.
Do we
He
have any?
leans down and he hears the creak of armor as Roorn
Uh-huh.
gets real close.
Real close.
Depending upon what you say, I would be willing to accommodate. But as I said, old friends. So choose the words you speak intentionally and carefully.
He goes a full shades of pale.
I want
Back.
truth, not hearsay slander. Even if the truth is horrible, I would rather have that than peasant mockery on lies.
I
He
am
swings
writing a
right back up.
message. One second. I sent you a message, Joffrey. Oh, please. Insert Jeopardy theme song here. Hmm.
He's not asking specifics. He was being
Got it.
very general. If Davin wants to get specific, that's on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Um,
can I ask what
if
time of the day it is right now?
it's
evening.
approaching dinner. Yeah, it's like dinner time. Sun's going down.
But this can wait until the morning, friend. As Roran sits back up. Think on it, sleep on it. But I will honor. I have a good 18-year mead with your name on it.
He is deeply intrigued by the idea of this liquor and deeply disturbed by what's being asked of him. See you all in the morning. Bright and early, be ready. Got a long trek. And
I assume we
he
just pick a corner.
there's still rooms, they're just not good ones. And I wouldn't be the one to ask. He jabs a thumb at the bartender. He is.
Well, friend, places a hand on Lydell.
It's heavy.
That's your department. You are, in
Lydell,
fact, the avid stone collector. Looks at Davin. He enjoys his stones.
as a matter of fact, I was gonna suggest that Lydell will pull out a handful of his stones and say, "See," and then put him
That
back.
does help corroborate your
From this
all's
town.
lie.
This is
Yeah.
from this town.
Oh my gosh.
Lydell, would you
Yes.
mind? I don't know if you guys are planning on going anywhere, but we should probably get a room for the night.
I'm getting ready to ask. And he,
Got some spells to work on.
yeah, so he goes up to the barkeep.
Who rolls his eyes as you approach? Yes.
Couple of rooms.
We got one room.
You got one room. How many beds?
Beds.
Or sleeping places? Something.
Floor.
You got one room.
Okay. Big enough for our big guy over there and the rest of us?
Sure.
Vital. So
He
okay, how
leads
much?
he leads you over to the room in question, opens the door, which is streaked with cobwebs, and inside is dusty, slightly damp, smells of like mildew. Um, has a couple of barrels in there of you assume this latrine mop water ale, and just enough space for you all to sleep, nose, feet to head, with how many of you are tall.
Mm.
10
So
gold.
basically, what we have been doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
So
in a room.
Lido looks over at him and says, "I give you 5 gold at the most."
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, here we go. This will be the nat one you watch. Oh crap! I lost that one.
Like
Nope.
this close to burning the place
26.
down.
That would be a valid reaction to this sort of treatment.
Yeah.
Except Riker, the wood wouldn't catch, even with a
Yeah.
fireball.
That's
So
fair.
he did a 26.
The barkeep shrugs his shoulders and takes the 50% discount. Yeah, sure. Holds out his
All right.
hand.
He gives him the 5 gold. And
Doesn't include breakfast, and he walks away.
Lytle, without skipping a beat, says, "I would hope not."
He's like, "I've had your ale. I don't want your breakfast. I get botulism.
um,
Botulism doesn't even exist in this world. I'm patient 0."
he looks over. He looks over at Riker and says, "We could take some time to clean this up just a little bit, so that you're a little more
with that.
comfortable."
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
And
Well, you
so
two set
then,
about with Mary
yeah,
Poppins.
we're gonna do that for a little bit to try to at least make it so that we can
Yes.
rest.
You double, yeah, dual wield, fingers akimbo, around this room, and get it a little less mildewy and a little
Yeah.
less spidery. Um, you stack the two big barrels of ale on top of each other, and you have a smidge more room.
Question for you: the door
Yeah.
handle and lock, is it
Hmm.
in good repair or is it in disrepair?
There's no lock. There
Okay.
is a knob.
Is it in good repair?
It falls off in your hand.
Okay. he casts
Rourn will
mending on it.
stack the barrels, and whenever we get inside, he'll just move all the barrels, act as a barricade in front of the door.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there you go.
There you
That
go.
worked.
Sounds
Are
good
you
to me.
guys needing to go anywhere, or can I, do you need me for anything, or can I get to work?
Lytle says, I think we could all use the rest.
The supplies that you got back in Dessel are hella nice and still have most of them available. You estimate you'll have enough to get you through the trek to the temple and even perhaps a few days at the temple before you have to worry about foraging or hunting. The boar that you got, Lytle, on
Yeah.
the way has definitely padded you a bit.
Yeah,
Perfect.
maybe around the waist a little too.
I mean, boar meat's good meat if you know how to prepare it. Um, okay.
All right,
So what
I'm
do you
going
each
to.
post up and do? Yeah.
I'm So if it's around dinner time, around 6 o'clock, I'm gonna try and work it
Yeah.
through till about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna try and
Okay.
get Alter Self and Crown of Madness put in my
Okay.
book.
Nice. Um, can you do both of those? Again, I forget the parameters.
Yeah, so because of my class and whatnot, it takes me an hour per spell slot. Alter Self is a second level, and Crown of Madness is a second level.
Okay.
So, 4 hours.
Perfect. Yeah. Would you roll me an Arcana just to ensure you don't make any mistakes on the page?
Mhm. That is a 15.
Um, you catch yourself before you make one of those repeat line kind of mistakes. Uh, nibble on the end of your quill in like a little bit of self comfort and relief that you caught yourself before you did, and you manage to achieve your copying with no issue. Anyone else want to do anything else fun or interesting before you fall asleep?
Uh, Lytle will ask Kenji if he has dice or cards.
Kenji, do you have dice or cards?
I have cards.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
Yes.
I would say that Lytle and Kenji would share some time, uh, maybe playing some cards. Just
Let's
for the
do
fun
it.
of it.
Genji hasn't played cards in a hot minute.
Yeah.
He's excited about this.
Does Lytle okay, both of you roll me a let's call that a hmm, I want it to be a mental. Both of you roll me a wisdom check
Okay.
to determine how well you'd play cards against each other.
Mine is a
14.
dirty 20.
Okay.
Kenji,
Sorry, Kyle.
what'd you roll, Kenji?
14.
So Lytle is most definitely kicking your butt at cards. To be fair, Kenji, you're a little rusty. You're used to kind of
Oh,
one-sided playing, like you and Genji will flip personalities back and forth.
that's true. But hold on. Sorry, hold on a second. I forgot that Genji would have wanted to play cards, not Kenji.
Yeah, you can
So
re-roll then.
he came out for just a second. I'll keep the roll. I'll just change the wisdom thing to see.
It's fine.
Okay, never
That's
mind. It wouldn't have mattered. It's still lower. 15.
no worries. You you do slightly better with that. The question is, Lytle, do you take advantage of Kenji slash Genji's rustiness, and do you absolutely trounce them, or do you lay off a little bit and give them some breathing room?
I don't think Lydell, the type of person Lydell is, he's not the type of person to trounce on anybody,
All right.
but he definitely does not hold back
Mm,
as far as he figures that Kenji Genji is a always a formidable foe. and so he plays in such a way to try to force the better out of them. No, probably realizing they're rusty and
Mm.
seeing it, and so in that aspect, because he would like for this to be a good card game sometime. So
Oh yeah. You guys go best 6 out of 10. Log into the evening. Riker's quill scratches comfortingly along his parchment. Rourn, what are you doing?
Roran, as soon as he's done eating, sits and puts himself right in the corner, sitting down
Mhm.
facing, because he is processing, and
Mm.
he is presently holding the shattered High Priest of Lathander's amulet in his hand.
Red, you're doing that in like full view of everybody, right? Like you're
Well,
not
he's
hiding
facing the
the amulet.
corner, so he's holding it close to him, just kind of looking at it.
I'm
Just
not trying to like downplay your moment here, but it feels like you're an anime character farming mushrooms in depression. If anyone knows that reference, comment below. So you're holding the amulet. You're not hiding it, but you're turned towards the corner. Um, Red, roll me a perception check. You thought I forgot about you.
I did.
You would be correct.
I
No,
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that. 21.
awesome. Even though Red is trying to be surreptitious about it, you see glimpses of this thing, and it's very distinctive. You can tell he's holding a holy symbol. Even with a 21, you just don't know what kind of holy symbol it is. Plus, I think you're a little more aware of Roarn's presence, seeing as he gave you a new orifice not 24 hours ago.
Fair. Indeed, he did. I don't know that I'll ask him about it right now. I will definitely kind of make the middle note that,
Yeah.
hey, he's got a symbol just like me.
actually, I think Ren should get advantage because this is the second time he would have seen it because Roran showed this as his. What is it? Where's the term? His scar. The. What was the term that Dessel used?
The seal.
The Kesha Valul or something.
Oh, yes, my scar. Show me your scars.
Yep, and Roran flashed that, so Red saw it at least once before.
Nice. Okay. Right.
I mean, I'll
Give me
roll
another.
again.
Yeah, roll it with advantage so you can. You know it's a holy symbol. You don't know what it's what god it's related to.
Alright, let me just say 24. It's 28.
Okay, so with the 28, you definitely see enough of it to recognize it as a Lethendarian symbol. The sunburst, even though it's cracked, um, is distinctive, unmistakable.
Okay.
Kind of makes you wonder what Roran's history is in this place, and what he's not letting on.
I think kind of knowing for a fact of what it is at that point, I think I would, yeah, I'll walk over and.
It's about 3 strides.
Yeah, it's
So
not a
you're
big room.
standing over. Yeah, no, you're standing over him, crouched in the corner, within a second. And
Your
Rourn
back is
obviously
turned to us, right?
feels-
Yes,
Yeah, he's
I'm
back.
facing the corner.
Alright, let's see. So it's a 13. So with the 26 stealth, I'm gonna walk up behind Rourn.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even going to try and roll counter. I don't even think I can roll counter. Yeah, no, even if I rolled a nat 20, I'm not going to perceive you.
I'm just,
Uh-huh.
I'm just, I'll just kind
Lido
of
would have pursued it.
I'll just kind of stand over his shoulder and be like, "Hey, what you doing?"
But
You
suddenly a blade
definitely.
comes through his chest again. No.
He definitely startles a little bit. It's still a soldier's startle, where it's not like a jump, but he definitely whips his head around quick.
Lamenting.
Yes, well, you've done quite a bit of that in the past couple of days. Any particular reason today?
I butchered my father.
Well, you
her
stabbed
order.
me, so yeah, that checks, my friend, but tell me more.
He was the high priest of Lathander.
Ew.
Oh,
He was the one responsible for the Temple of the Dawn.
So when you say you... And I did hear you correctly. You did say you slaughtered your father?
You heard correctly.
Okay. Right. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to make some assumptions and be wrong. That would have been
That's
a
a tough one
completely
to be
different
wrong on.
conversation. Well, yeah, they don't really teach a lot on patricide where I come from. Would you like to talk about it?
Not particularly, but
Yes, well, you stabbed me, so
I-
spill. You're never gonna live this down, by the way.
he's gonna pull the stat card.
it's quite fair.
Nor should you let him live it down.
No. I'm not trying to pity farm here, Red. The sorry state of this village, my village, I cannot help but feel as responsible as I am for what I did to you. It was my blade. For the consequences of this. Lack of control. Acting as the Empress's blade. And I can't help but feel this very justified weight. And your all forgiveness really feels unwarranted.
Well, just remember, the Empress saw you as a tool to be used. But you're more than that. You're quite the good shot with the sword, if I don't say so myself. And I should know.
My gosh.
Because you stabbed me.
You are the only one from this group who's allowed to make those comments to me.
Well, I would certainly hope so, because you haven't stabbed anyone else. But hey, look, I'm standing here. So
You
either
mentioned
you've gotten
something
rusty
else.
in your old age, or it wasn't my time.
It must not have been your time. You said something. He'll take the symbol and kind of close his fist around it. Something about that they brought me back because they needed all of me. Lathander, when I was in the arena, said something similar. And I had to make peace with this, with all of me. difficulty listens to the cars and the indistinct conversations happening behind him. How do I do that?
You will have to say that again because I didn't catch it.
Did you break
Sorry.
up a little?
I might have said a little quiet. I'm just having difficulty finding a way to justify it to myself. How this is a good thing. Why this is why they brought me back.
Well, one thing for certain is they will always know better than we do. Even when we do not understand, they do. Even as annoying as they can be, Kalimvor.
Oh, no doubt about it.
You hear a teensy amount of thunder in the distance.
It's best not to agitate them. Don't want to pull a Riker.
That is fair. It has been a minute.
Riker looks up. What?
Riker doesn't even notice.
Go back to your cards, Riker.
No,
Switches his voice.
Lytle is playing cards with Kenji. Riker's writing.
Yeah, I'm too engrossed.
Gross is the right word. I'm certainly hoping that the nefariousness that is at the temple is something that can be dealt with my way. But there's a part of me that's hoping that it's not. This cloak for the fair lights are from a short-lived rebellion. What if there are embers hiding? Maybe we don't have to hide much longer ourselves.
Well, here's certainly hoping we don't, because it gets old very quickly.
Remember you said that.
I appreciate you checking in on me. For what it's worth.
Yes. It's what friends are for, I suppose.
Little encouraging to know that a sword through the chest isn't quite enough to sever it. I will still die for you.
Sorry.
I'll just smile at that point. Like I've got nothing for that one.
You hear a snicker from Lytle.
With a 26 passive perception, has heard most of that.
It is impolite to eavesdrop on one's private conversation.
It's the size of a prison cell. You want privacy, go elsewhere.
Lytle looks over at you and says, "If it wasn't so easy to hear you, I would have kept to myself."
Pardon me if I don't believe you. But that is not justified.
Lytle looks over and says, "You're pardoned."
Roorn will tuck the thing back in. He'll turn around and lean against the wall. He won't speak for the rest of the night. He won't keep himself in the corner, but he's still trying to process, because it's still
Fresh.
His hometown is in complete disarray and despair, and it's entirely, mostly his fault.
You know, the blame rests on a few shoulders. You can cerebrally kind of grasp it's not totally your fault, but at the same time,
I was the one
in
that tips that first domino.
in the state you are currently, it's very easy to let the blame sink you further into self-loathing.
At least for tonight.
Yeah,
He
sleep
needs
fixes a lot
Roorn
of
needs
things.
some rude awakenings to wake his whole self up for what is to come to happen.
Mhm. Does anyone else want to do anything before bedtime?
We'll find a place and get comfortable as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, Kenji and Lytle, each of you roll me a d6.
Sure. I got a 1.
Hmm.
2.
So that's the ratio of games that y'all ended with. Somehow Kenji made a comeback and managed to win a few more than you, Lytle.
Genji's feeling good about himself now. You're welcome,
Right?
Kyle.
We miss you very much, Kyle.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. As the night wears on, you all start to yawn and eventually take up your uncomfortable, but at least, sheltered positions of sleep in this room. Do y'all want to take watches?
Are there any windows in this room?
In this sketchy
No.
place, heck yeah, we're taking watches.
It's
Yeah.
basically a storeroom and there is no window.
So I ask who wants to take first watch. I'll take second.
Kenji will do first watch.
Okay. Kenji, you post up for your watch. Um, who wants to take third? Remember, Rourn has a level of exhaustion.
I'll do third.
Wow. The rare red watch.
Yeah.
Don't get used to it.
Awesome.
It ain't gonna happen again.
Yeah, no, totally. Um, awesome. So Kenji, you post up for your watch, and you listen to the town through the thin walls around you. The occasional sound of drunken, dragging kind of footsteps off um, through the wall. You hear the clatter and ringing of various ale-related vessels being slung around by the barkeep. Um, it's very quiet. Um, and being a village of this type, even more so. Your watch passes uneventfully.
Perfect.
How do you want to wake up, Lytle?
Well, which part of the room did he decide to like sleep next to the wall or the opposite wall, or where is he at?
He's up against the wall. One of their wherever you guys were playing cards, he's opposite of that.
I'm gonna assume that's a little further away from the door.
I mean,
So I
yeah,
guess
probably.
he'll carefully crawl in between people's feet and like poke. his boot. Be like, "Hey,
Oi,
trade me places. Come on."
nice. Vital, do you wake up peacefully or do you jerk awake?
I would say he probably wakes up fairly peacefully. He knows who's in there.
I mean, it's an enclosed space. You feel pretty safe.
But he also realizes that the only way he's going to get woken up violently is if violence is happening. So, um, and he was always ready for that. But yeah, he wakes up fairly peaceful.
Then you rise and get ready for your watch. Your watch is in the dead of night, arguably the very quietest that this town has to offer. Um, you are the most at ease in the thick of
Yeah.
night like this. This is your happy place, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's easy for you to stay awake because your body is very used to this. It's easy for your senses to embrace their naturally heightened manner in this sort of environment. You thrive in the dead of night. Um, your watch passes uneventfully.
Hmm.
How would you like to wake up
He'll,
Red?
he'll go over and he's probably going to tap his boot. Uh, Not hard, just enough to wake him up.
Mhm.
Red, Red, it's your watch.
I'll kind of kick one eye open and be like, oh, I did volunteer for this, didn't I?
Yes,
Yup.
unfortunately you did.
Yeah, fair enough.
Red, as you rise reluctantly to your feet, you take up your position. How would you like to take your watch? Are you sitting on the barrels of ale against the door? Are you sitting in a corner, kind of trying to stay awake? What are you doing?
Yeah, just kind of looking over at kind of watching the door, just, the only egress point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Um, as you in particular sit up in the wee hours of the morning, your typical time to pray actually like arrives. Uh, with your particular domain and the god you serve, it's very common to pray at twilight, unlike a lot of clerics who pray at dawn. And you find yourself sinking naturally into the cadence of your prayers, in some respects, like um, a rosary. And you feel Kalimvor connect with you in a way that is subtle, definitely not superseding the power of the netstones, but you feel him almost in a fatherly way metaphorically place a hand on your shoulder as if to say, "Good job, son." And you gather that what you are demonstrating to Roorn in terms of grace and forgiveness and friendship is precisely the sort of thing he would have you display. And you are doing your god proud by behaving as such.
Yay, go me.
Yeah. Your watch also passes uneventfully. And dawn breaks, and with it, the town sort of starts to wake up, as do all of you. You feel refreshed. You may take a long rest.
Pretty sure I did. Okay.
Rowan, that
Hooray.
should remove your exhaustion point.
It did.
Awesome. Thanks. Do you guys want to pack up and do anything before you head out, or go to find Davenport? So you eat a hasty rations meal, you know, swish your mouths out. Definitely not with ale. You pry open the door after removing the barrels, and you find Davenport on the other side, about to raising his knuckles as if to knock. Ah, perfect timing. Come on, we're late. Got a lot of ground to travel, and we're already behind.
All right.
I will say that Lytle kind of respects the fact that he was there waiting for them.
Riker, on the other hand, is
I
doing the whole.
don't. That was creepy.
Yeah, for sure. Riker is mocking him behind his back, and Rad is like just not having this guy's demeanor.
No.
Awesome. You exit the bar. Weirdly, it seems the same couple of people who were there when you went to bed last night are still here or back. You're not entirely sure. They seem to be fixtures and at the minimum alcoholics. So you exit the bar to the streets, and it's very dusty. The sun is already pretty hot, even though it's super early in the morning. And as it kind of breaks over the mountain peak, and it actually breaks in such a way that it highlights the distant towers of the temple that you are going to make a trek to, you see the people of the town kind of surreptitiously stop what they're doing or slow down in their walk and turn their faces towards the rising sun, as if old habits of eras more soft and sentimental to worship die hard. Even as broken and beaten down as this town may be in the wake of the Empress's changes, you can sense there's still just the teensiest bit of spark of hope. You exit the town by the westernmost gate, and Davenport, who, for being a human, is pretty spry on his feet for his age, is setting a pretty good clip. He instructs you to fill your canteens and water skins at the town well, the village well, before you exit. Because, as he puts it, water is scarce as you go further up into the range.
All right. Will do.
And what was that, Dennis?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, thought I heard you.
I was thinking. I wonder if any of us have purified water, but other than that,
I mean,
That's
need it for the
The problem is that's a cleric.
Uh-huh. I think it can be others as well. Hang on. Purify
Fairly
water.
certain that one in particular is
It could be druidic, couldn't it? Although none of you look
Maybe.
particularly like a druid. Yeah, it's a druid, a paladin, an artificer, a cleric spell. Paladin, Oath of the Harvest, cleric, the Festus domain.
Well, hey, guess who doesn't
Artificer,
have it?
and
This guy.
yeah, that's right. Well, here's the thing. When you pray every day as a cleric, you can change out your spells. If you want to change out your spells, you can do that. That's the beauty. Clerics are broken. Change my mind.
I can create a bonfire, but not water.
I mean,
You could boil the water, I guess.
That's right.
wow. Wow. Y'all, too dang funny. Uh,
Well, after the ale, I mean.
I mean, what could beat the ale, really?
Yeah.
anything.
Literally
Yeah.
anything. Too funny. So the way up the mountain begins its elevation climb within about a half a mile outside of Goldmere, and it's not impossible. But you look up and you see. You don't even have to sense. You see it's gonna get a lot steeper very quickly, and within, I'd say by noon, 5-ish hours earlier or 5-ish hours later, You guys are sweating under the sun, and you are puffing from the sheer change in elevation. Both the thinness of the air and the drain climbing is putting on your body. Everyone roll me a constitution check, excuse me.
Mhm.
17.
Just like
Just a
Okay.
check,
Well,
not a save, right?
That's correct. You're
oh,
not saving against an effect, you're checking your progress. We have a 17, we have a 12. What else do we have? Yes,
That
Jesse.
one.
1? All right.
That one.
that makes
Right.
narrative
It
sense.
does.
It
It
does.
100%.
It really
No,
does.
no, it
Meanwhile,
do.
it's just
Um,
like riding a bike. Rourn has a 22. He's
my
done this
gosh.
trek a lot.
Oh,
Or
yeah, it's
carry me,
muscle memory.
please. Carry me.
He's gonna bring the pace down. This might be one of those rare instances you actually give Riker what he wants.
Oopsies.
Very rare.
In this lull, as I imagine we probably break for a quick meal. Now that we're all lightheaded and breathing heavy, you owe us, or at least you owe me, an explanation.
Sorry, who owes who an explanation?
Davenport owes
Oh, yeah, he
Rourn
he
an
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
explanation.
He, gives a kind of side shuffle as you, like, come up next to him on the trail, and no matter how much he, like, changes his pace, you remain just behind him and just over his shoulder, and it's uncomfortable. Um, you're physically intimidating even when you aren't being you. Um, he says, well, the, uh, the Belgor brothers, in their own ways each, brought great shame to this village, and even greater shame to the name of those who would worship Lathander. He looks a little nervous. It's not that, I worship Lathander. I gave up on that a long time ago. Renounced, as the Empress instructed us all. Uh, there
Oh,
is no, there
friend,
are no,
that was not part of the conversation or the question. No, no, no.
well, they both served the Empress, you see, and, you would think the way their father raised them, they would have chosen a different path, but one followed the other. The younger followed the older. And yeah, it was pretty ugly. Pretty ugly.
In what way?
Well, you see, do you want to like walk next to me? No? Okay. Well, uh the older, I forget his name, Rare or something. Um he uh
Roared
he
his
be
name was.
that's right. Yeah. Roorn. Um he began to rise through the ranks of the Empress's regime early in the early days, and he kind of went off the radar for a while. But when he came back, he was somehow the head of her bodyguard contingent, and I mean, he's pretty distinctive, huge Azimir with those giant wings. Just they, well, he was hard to miss. Uh, and
Sounds
his
like.
and his brother, followed in his footsteps. From what I heard from the old timers who knew them more personally, brother younger was there was some hero worship going on. He followed and wound up in his brother's regiment, and the Empress, who, for all intents and purposes, looks like a devil, was suddenly guarded by two angels, and it was quite the quite the look, especially as she made the tour of the continent and gave her speeches and solidified her power and installed her seal bearers. And my point is, they made themselves painfully obvious that they were not interested in honoring their roots. And I'm not sure the village ever really forgave them for that.
But such the reaction that you gave does not warrant such the tale that you. That is something of shame, but the disgust and the spit. My friend, I feel like there is something you are not telling me to warrant that.
Hey, where's that liquor you promised me? Uh,
Oh, do you think it's wise to break it out now so high on this mountain? No, 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 no. Only
he's
as a
starting
reward.
he's sweating in a way that's less about the heat and more about the lack of alcohol in a 6-hour span. 'Cause, I
Oh,
mean,
but he's a guide. Clearly, he must have his own stuff. He wouldn't make such a trek if it really caused him that much.
yeah, he is wanting something stronger for a reason. But he obviously can't force you to give it to him. And says,
I'm
you know,
being. Why don't we take
it's
a break? How about tonight when we rest for camp? You finish your story, and I will make good on that part of this arrangement. Fair?
sounds great. Thanks so much. He puts on extra speed and like jumps 10 feet ahead of the group, whereas he was just leading you by a few feet before. And
What kind of sides of, oh, it's both cute and disheartening. Tell his biography. Keep up the pace, Riker.
Riker's about 30 feet behind the group at this point and struggling. Your robes are soaked under the arms and along your back, but with sweat, and you are
My feather
hassling.
is full on drooping. Like my feather's drooping.
Yeah, you are
Hey,
hassling for
It's
air.
full on Looney Tunesing, like a part of your.
I'm doing the
Yeah,
whole like Daffy Duck, like
yes, yes. Yeah, you are not having a good time. Y'all take a break at about like 1 or 2 o'clock, to avoid kind of the worst of the heat, and you find some scraggly trees to take a rest under. They don't provide nearly enough shade to help cool your overheated bodies, um, but it's still better than having to walk more. So you subsist. Uh,
I heard this
you
is
break
why
out.
they built the temple here.
Oh yeah,
Part of the pilgrimage. They had to
mm,
scant protection from the sun, constant reminder of looks over at Davenport, Lathander's presence, and that every step of your pilgrimage brought you closer not only to the proverbial but the literal sun. Or so I was told.
yeah, you're not
Allegedly.
far off. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh goodness. Um, Wonderful. So Yeah, your guide is decidedly avoiding Rourn to the very best of his ability, and he's got a flask of what you assume is the ale from the tavern, and his shaking hand is bringing it to his lips repeatedly. It probably is a little too fast of a clip to preserve it in any sense, and he keeps, like, taking furtive and scared glances towards Rourn, as if dreading something to come. So your first challenge of this trek actually arrives as you take off again after your rest. Um, you will kind of come to a narrow canyon that has been blocked at one end, and your guide takes you near to this end. You can see it. It's not even 40 or so feet ahead, and gestures and says, the one of the first challenges that beset the passage in the absence of Lathander's forbearance, we'll need to divert to this path. And he pulls aside a bush that does very little to that it hides a teensy little goat path, scarcely more than like a couple feet wide, and says this is the only way around that landslide.
I'm
And
assuming
you
this is more shaded.
Yeah, by this time of the day, there's a touch more shade to it, but the heat that has been absorbed into these rocks is radiating.
Mm.
It's like being baked in a stone oven.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a
What a-
pilgrimage for a reason.
I want to insight check him.
For what?
Well, the orcs had made their way kind of up and around. If he's gonna drop me off into a pit of orcs, I'm gonna throw him off the mountain.
Go ahead.
Remember,
Kind of
I
makes
I
sense.
like the dead people, not so much the live ones.
Right.
Insight 26.
Um, you are you behold this gentleman and you squint at him. You don't seem to get any sort of untoward vibes off of him. You just sense that Rourn has whipped him into a tizzy, and any nerves he has is due to that. For all you know, he might not even know that those orcs were, or half orcs were operating in this area.
Okay, just making sure.
No worries. Um, you guys come along this goat path, and unstable terrain is kind of a deep concern, given how skinny the path is and how far the cliff's drop off is to your right. Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw just to avoid like losing your footing,
13.
which will be
20,
which will be
26.
stupid easy for most of you.
26.
Okay.
13.
Ooh, nat 20.
Woo!
Hey!
Yay.
We have broken the curse for Rachel. Praise God.
Oh, I
It's her
hope
own.
so.
It's her own hot little hands. That's the curse.
Apparently.
So 13,
Seven.
26, 27. Rourn,
No,
what's
just
yours?
7.
I heard you.
Just
I
7.
said 20, common, comma, 7. I heard you the first time.
17.
Okay. So Riker definitely loses his footing. And Red comes close, but manages to catch himself in time. Somebody, unless you don't want to, of course, make a dexterity saving throw to catch Riker before he
Lighter will
falls.
make that.
All
Glad it
right, I
wasn't me,
figured.
because that was a 2
Yeah.
on the
Warren's
die.
close
I was
enough
about to
to.
ask if
Yeah.
I was about to ask if with my nat 20 I could just like and then just like grab him or whatever.
Let me see that again. Let me see this little woo 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 kind of dance move. Are you? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab him and just be like, mm.
So you and I'm gonna say with your nat 20 and with Lytle's obscene dexterity stats, you both actually catch an arm as he's about to like slide face first down this cliff. Uh, and you manage to get him back steady on his feet. Uh, he definitely looks like a child that has been at the park for too long, and he's giving low blood sugar and fed up with the circumstances kind of
I was
vibes.
Oh.
He's gonna be like, I hate this place. I hate
Want
this
to go
place so
home?
much.
so I was gonna ask is it what would Lytle have to roll to help him the rest of the way?
Let me think.
And if
Let
it's
me
a
think.
strength check, forget it because I ain't gonna have.
No, I understand. How would you intend to help him? Like,
Just kind
give
of
me something.
being there beside him, letting him, kind of put his arm on him and guiding him.
There's really only two physical stats, and you're only good at one of them. Um, I
Yeah.
will say, in the same way that you would guide an elderly person through uneven terrain, you kind of your hand kind of hovers at Riker's back for
Yeah,
the
that's kind of what I was
duration of
thinking.
this goat
Mm-hmm.
path. I would say you can roll another dexterity check to ensure that if he were to stumble, you can catch him.
Okay.
The whole like
Um,
stumbling and dog
that,
look, like
that'd be a dirty
Uh-huh.
20.
Yeah, he definitely like sidesteps a couple of times and you have to like pull him a little bit to back to the safety of the middle of the path with his belt. Um, Riker, how do you respond to this?
I'm like I don't know if any of you guys are runners, but uh tried to do running a couple of years ago,
Yeah?
and I remember doing this 10K. I remember by the time I passed the line, like all you can think of is breathe in. Like you're just
Yeah.
like your body is like flopping because you don't have the energy to like keep yourself still. You just flop and flop and flop, and it's just you can't think of anything but breathe, breathe. I think that's
Yes.
just
That tracks.
Nice. Uh, that's fantastic. So, yeah, Riker, you guys all, including Riker, make it to the end of this goat path, and the cliff face disappears behind another rock wall, and the path widens out again. And your guide breathes a sigh of relief because he doesn't want to have to answer to the tall one if one of you gets lost along the way.
Mhm.
Um, your next kind of hazard is actually kind of wildlife based. Um, you are on this wide path, but the cliff face above you kind of arches over a little bit in sort of a very uh thin almost cave, but it's more like like an over ledge, like a over your head. And hanging from this ledge are hundreds of huge hornet nests. And
Oh.
your guide and
Huh.
Davenport looks over his shoulder at you and kind of makes a gestures for quiet and points up and then makes various like violent sort of slashes with his hands as if to say noise makes them angry. So how do you
I am
intend to whiten the clank of armor and the haggard huff of breath from each of you?
I was gonna say I'm immediately concerned about Rourn.
Yeah.
I just want to
Who
like
wants to?
I'll I'll put my hand up and get a little flame going and be just like
And Davenport is like wildly gesticulating, no, 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 no. Because if you get one of them, hundreds more are going to deploy. There's only many times per second you can hit a firebolt, and yeah, he does not.
our ball will just clear out like everything. Like it just
It's
burn
it's like
all the rest.
it's about 100 foot like length, of this overhang, and it's all filled with hornet nests. It would be very hard to fireball them effectively all at once. And he kind of hisses under his breath, "If we're quiet, we can just bypass them. Rourn, your armor being heavy is a clanking sort of sound. Do you want to move more quietly and more slowly, or do you want to take steps to kind of stuff rags between the most loud offenders that you carry?
One thing that would have happened
Mm-hmm.
in his training is there are times where you have to move silently, or as silently as you can be, in full battle garb. And usually it is a athletic dance of sorts, moving your body in a certain way that almost flows with the armor,
Uh-huh.
so that it doesn't. Someone tries to sneak in armor, the armor is going to move unnaturally. The trick
Mm.
is to know your armor and know how to move in the armor to minimize it as much, the noise as much you can. It doesn't negate it,
Right.
but it drastically lessens it. So he's going to tap into that aspect and, with permission, roll athletics to.
Instead of stealth. Yes, that's fine. Rachel, you're reverbing. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Your sound is reverbing. I think it's an AC or something in your room.
Maybe.
That will be a 19 athletics. That'll be
Okay.
Roorn's check.
So
Wonderful.
would being quiet still be a stealth check?
Yes, for the rest of you, I will allow just a regular old stealth check. Red, Kenji, Riker, and Lytle, please roll me stealth.
I got a 28.
Yeah, of course you did. Why am I shocked?
Don't forget you're muted, Rachel. There you
No, I know.
go. Okay.
I rolled a 16.
Not bad.
20, 21.
Wow, good job, Riker. What about
Third.
you, Red? What's your stealth?
31.
Good criminy. How did you out stealth Lytle?
I mean,
I only got a 15.
Oh my gosh.
I got a 15 on the dice, so.
Dude, even Kenji did better.
Here's the thing. Like, I hear DMs complain in the forums all the time about, oh, my group is too high level for me to really challenge them.
Bull.
I freaking enjoy y'all kind of having your act together, you know? I see no issues with this. I may change my mind as we progress, but you're what, level 12 at this point? I see no problems. Like, I'm enjoying this.
We
Oh,
should.
And
should have.
we're not going to know if you change the number at the end because you're like, that was too easy.
No, I try not to
Like,
do that. I genuinely don't.
I
Like,
know, but
I have
just
definitely
saying.
adjusted the DCs according to your skill levels. Like, it's not like, low anymore. I learned my lesson, but I don't change the number. What you get is what you get. You know what I mean? I one, don't have the bandwidth for that, and two, I don't think it's got integrity. So, um, you all manage to sneak past these humming hornet nests about 20 feet above your head. Yes, even you, Rourn. Um, by the way, Rourn, I meant to, uh, what's it called? Resolve the roll you made overnight, um, for your con, but I kind of sort of forgot to, so I'm gonna instead, kind of tack it onto your next rest, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Um, or you know what? The simpler way would be that longer paragraph that I sent you. You dream that. You relive that.
Got it.
Perfect. So, your next hazard, which occurs kind of towards the end of your climb, as the sun is starting to finally finally sink a little bit and cast some measure of shadow is a field of vents in the cracked, sun-dried surface of the ground. Your guide, Davenport, looks at you and says, if the road had been open to the temple as it was for centuries since it was built, we could have avoided this entire place. But this is the only way to get there now that the natural disasters have closed the way. So you'll see the vents kind of start to belch maybe a few seconds before they actually like explode up and they like geyser. Um, the ground is positively covered with them. There's no real way to move your feet that doesn't take you over or close to these vents. So he warns you, watch the vents immediately around you. If you see one of them start to kind of spit water, that's your sign that it's about to erupt and you need to get off of it. Make sense? Okay. Watch me. And he kind of leads the way through the field, um, hopping with kind of this odd grace among these vents, almost as if he's done this a time or two. And you can each determine how you want to approach this field. So we'll start with Lytle because you're first on the left of my screen.
All right. And he's going to use his. I'm going to say he probably, with his dexterity,
Mhm.
would try to just carefully get through it. I mean, he's not going to try to do anything stupid. He takes what Davenport, is that his name?
Yep, Davenport.
Yeah, he takes his suggestion and listens and that's what he does. He gets through and he tries to not get killed.
Okay. Let me roll something really fast.
Sure.
So
How
I
many
rolled.
times?
Yeah, how many times you're gonna have to make a dex save to avoid getting geysered? So roll me 2 dex saves. The
Okay.
DC is 20,
Okay.
which I imagine is not difficult for you.
Well, the first one I only got an 11.
Total?
Yep.
Okay.
And
How
the second
how
one
did you do that?
I rolled a 2.
That's what I say. He had to have
Oh,
rolled a 2.
Yep.
okay.
And the second one I got a 21.
Okay. So you definitely like learn your lesson from the first, which you take
Yeah.
2 damage from the first. You got
Okay.
insanely lucky and rolled double ones on this damage. Uh,
Woo.
yeah, you get singed quite a bit, but the second one you kind of learn and you avoid it handily, and you make it to the other side of the field. Uh,
Okay.
Kenji, what would you like to do? How would you like to approach?
So basically how I imagine this is Genji kind of like laughs like haha, good luck. He's not even gonna try and help me. And I'll audibly say, shut up. um and he'll try his hands at dancing his way in between these geysers like he has felt Genji do before, and just see what happens.
So I am going to I'm going to let you roll a wisdom
Okay.
because you are drawing on your other self's experience without letting them take control.
So like a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. 4. I did a really bad job of trying to recreate what Genji can do, apparently.
Yeah. You're struggling with that. He's kind of
Laughing
yoinking
at
the
me.
reins. Yeah, he's yoinking the reins a little bit, kind of skewing the success or failure. Uh I rolled a 4 on a D4 for that's how many vents that you get dicked by. So you take 12, 11, hold on, 5, and 8 damage. So you are
Uh,
just not batting 1,000 on this field.
12. Sorry, 11. I thought you were like adding things up. 11.
So did I.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. 12,
5.
11, and 8, I believe is what I said.
5. No, there was a 5 in there too, but yes.
Yep. 12, 11,
5.
5,
36
8,
total.
if I'm not mistaken.
36 total.
Okay, and even
Thank you.
louder.
How do you swear without swearing?
Even louder, he's going to be like butthead. I
Right?
wanted to say something else. Just saying.
And Davenport thinks you're talking to him and says, "What did I do?" He's trying to yell encouragement. Um,
He's just not going to say anything. He's just going to let him think that.
right. Too funny. Awesome. Now I'm gonna let Rourn go next so he can scoot on. He's got some kitty stuff to do. Feel free, Rourn. How would you like to approach this field?
So he will stop. He will lean down. I'll
Uh-huh.
actually like press his ear. I'm going to use survival because he's going to spend like a minute just
Yeah.
listening to the sound of the ground and kind of getting a feel for. There's always a pattern. Even if it's chaotic, there's always a pattern. Get a
Yeah.
sense of like the timing of when there's the rumble, how much time the gas to
Yeah.
reach the points, and the time
Yeah.
between the gas and the water,
Yeah.
and use that as his. He'll stand up and then he'll make his way through.
Okay.
17.
Nice. Let me roll your d4. Rolled a 2. So you succeed at yours, and you dodge 2 vents that would have nicked you. And you make it across with the unerring grace of the athletic warrior you are. That's all that's going to be needed from you tonight, most likely. So if you want to scoot on, you're free to. Thank you, brother.
Good night, Duffer.
Sleep well. And Riker, how about you, sir? How do you want to approach
I'd
this
like
field?
to I'd like to use investigation, looking for patterns.
Yeah, give me an investigation. I like it.
That is. Just a second. That's a 19.
Very nice. Um, you definitely make it through the 3 vents that would have definitely uh, ruined the feather in your cap yet again. And
Mhm.
you make it to the other side unscathed. And Red, Mr. Red, last but not least,
Yup.
how do you approach your vent?
Um, I think I'm just gonna use my. Oh,
You can
I'll
be
be.
lame about it if you want to do the just
I'll
dexterity.
be flashy. I'll do acrobatics. What's the
Okay,
worst that can
get after
happen?
it.
Here's how
What's
I
the worst that
die.
can happen? You die.
That is a whopping 14.
So you
Die.
unfortunately, no, you do not die, but you definitely get nicked by 4 vents. Um, good God, I'm so.
Survive
How
a
did you
sword through
die?
the
I got burned
chest,
to
die
death.
on event.
Yes,
Yeah.
17. 23 damage. It's this kind of corrosive steam, and that is I rolled exceptionally low on that damage, so good job.
What was the total damage?
23, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
True.
Honestly, I had high hopes for you all. Also, thank you for picking up naturally that I didn't want just dexterities from you guys. I'm very pleased with your creativity. You may all take an additional point of inspiration and add it to your tally.
Yes.
Someone tell Joffrey that as well.
Well, thank
And
you.
yeah, I'm just very pleased you guys kind of intuitively picked up, okay, I don't need to just hammer my best stat. I can be creative with this. Good job.
Well, I
Um,
did, but
well, you did it creatively. As you
Yeah,
get through this
you
scene,
creatively failed, so way to go.
yeah,
I mean, it was humorous. What can I say? The
this is true.
You get through this field of vents. Davenport kind of brushes each of you off as you get on the other side, as if relieved that he has not lost a charge. And you travel for about another hour, and as you crest a cliff, you can see not even that far away, maybe another, you know, few hours walk in the daytime, um, the temple. And even from this distance, you can tell it is falling apart. Um, Rourn is particularly pensive looking as he takes in this place and is lost in memories that he is not keen to share. But with night falling, you can't make the trek safely through these cliffs and mountains and narrow places. So you decide, with Davenport's insistence, to make camp. And that is where we will end our session for the night. Um, Great job, you guys. And I'm so proud of you. Just, gosh, I have such a good time. Y'all are the best players. Um, we are the Holy Rollers. Thank you very much for being on our live or watching later. Um, Feel free to comment anything you have to say below. We love responding to comments and we love communicating with our group. Um, Visit our Facebook page, the Holy Rollers D&D group, and scroll to our Monday prayer request post if you have any prayers you'd like to ask us to take before the Lord on your behalf. We are honored to do that, and we are faithful to do that. This is open to people who both are followers of Jesus and aren't. If you want to put the Lord to the test in this way, you are welcome to do so. Um, God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening. Have a good night. Bye.